Hey guys, it's Phone Arena, and today we're checking out the LG Sentio for T-Mobile. The unique thing about this handset is the fact that it's one of the three handsets that's being launched by LG for T-Mobile, because the carrier hasn't embraced LG handsets up until this point. The other two handsets are just basic flip handsets, while this one is a little bit more compelling with the touchscreen offering. So we'll check it out and see what it has to offer over the competition. At first glance, the LG Sentio's design doesn't scream anything groundbreaking, and it looks pretty ordinary compared to other handsets, just like the T-Mobile Tab. It's pretty compact. It's also lightweight. That's because they utilize the plastic material all around the handset. We do like the fact that it has that soft touch coating to it, just to give it a pristine look every time you take it out of the pockets or hold it, and it does a good job in repelling scratches and even smudges. It's lightweight again, doesn't feel too heavy in the pockets, and it's also well sized. Easily its biggest feature has to be its 3-inch resistive touchscreen display, which has a resolution of 240 by 400 pixels with support for 262,000 colors. And we gotta say, colors looked a little bit more washed out on the screen, and on top of that, text were a little bit also fuzzy. We did notice that you really had to press down on the touchscreen to register a press. And if you do take it outdoors, it does suffer from some poor viewing angles, so you gotta really shield it away from the sun. Right below the touchscreen, you have your dedicated hardware buttons. You got the send and back clear key. They're well sized and also offer a decent tactile response. We can't say the same as far as the other buttons on the handset. You have the volume rocker here on the left side with the task menu. You have the micro USB port, which acts as your charger, PC connection, also to connect the included stereo headphones, seeing that there's no 3.5mm headset jack. You got a dedicated camera button, power button on the top. And on the back, you just have a 3-megapixel camera. When you remove the back cover, it gives you access to the battery, SIM card, and micro SD card slots. Now, we're really taken back with the interface that's found on the LG Sentio, seeing that it's a little bit more antiquated and also outdated at the same time, just because it's the same exact one that was featured with the LG Prada and LG View from a few years ago. On the home screen, you could add all these different widgets that you like. You could add additional ones by clicking the tab. Some of them are useful, some of them are just launch different applications. When you get to the main menu, it's broken down to 4 tabs. You have your phone, you have the media, you have the organizer, and also settings. And as we said earlier, we would have liked to see something newer like the LG's S-Class interface, but thankfully it does run pretty smooth and simply straightforward. Seeing that the 3-inch display does limit the text messaging experience out there, you'll have your option of either using the numeric keypad, or if you flip it to its left, you'll get the landscape QWERTY option, but you have to really press down on the screen to register a touch. If you're going to do email, you just simply have to just put in your username or password and automatically set it up. No problems whatsoever. And finally, instant messaging, you'll have your 3 options: AIM, Windows Live, and even Yahoo Messenger right on the handset. We were really sorely disappointed by the web browsing experience, especially when the Sentio offers a touch screen. First of all, it took forever to load up our page, and just kinetic scrolling was just such a chore to do. It just seems like it was just lagging and had a difficult time rendering text and also pictures. You might want to look elsewhere if you're going to be taking a lot of photos or videos, just because the LG Sentio's 3-megapixel camera produced some muddy looking images with the camera it's almost somewhat like a painting rather than an actual photo. There's barely any detail. On top of that, there was a lack of colors. If you are going to take videos too, it has a maximum shooting resolution of 320 by 240, and it was kind of stuttery, jerky, and had no detail whatsoever. Calling quality on the Sentio is average at best, just because voices were clear and distinct on our end, and there was no evidence of any distortion or background noise. Although our callers did say that our voices did sound somewhat muffled on their end. Seeing that there's no separate speakerphone, everything's done through the main one, so using the speakerphone for calling wasn't the best, just because it was kind of weak. Battery life, though, we were really impressed in that area, just because after 2 days of normal use and 50% brightness, it only dropped 1 bar out of 3. And finally, retaining signal strength to the network, the handset didn't have any problems with that. If this handset were released a few years ago alongside handsets like the LG Prada, even LG View, it definitely would have been a compelling handset for T-Mobile, just because it tacked on a touchscreen. Unfortunately though, it doesn't meet the expectations set forth by other LG phones that we've seen in the past, and feels a little bit outdated. And it doesn't perform well in key areas like web browsing and even taking photos. Ultimately though, at $69.99 on contract price might prove enticing enough for some people out there to grab. So if you'd like to learn more about this handset, or for all the latest cell phone reviews, news, specs, and information, you can check us out at phonearena.com.